sure. I'm Dr. Alicia Prieto Langarica. I was born and raised in Mexico and then did my undergrad, part of it in Mexico, then 2 years at the University of Texas at Dallas, and then at the University of Texas at Arlington I did my PhD, all in math, because that's the best subject. And then I came to YSU in 2012. Well, I'm a professor in mathematics, so I teach all sorts of classes in the math department, and then I work at the Honors College as Director of Academic Programs, which kind of means that I try to figure out how to better, how to make the experience of honors students better in the academic sense.
How do you incorporate wellness into your everyday life?
Ooh, so I didn't used to think too much about wellness. I actually just, lived for school and for work and for math. And then I got diagnosed with diabetes, and then you don't have a lot of choices but to think about wellness, because I lost 2 of my uncles, my mom's older brothers. My mom has 13. Not that it matters, but sometimes I feel like you have a lot, right? I prioritize my exercise, so I exercise first thing in the morning, every morning, which I know works for me, but no, doesn't work for everybody, but I do think that that's a priority. That's something I don't move. It doesn't matter what happens the day before. I wake up in the morning and the first thing I do is I exercise, and then I do my best to sleep 7 to 9 hours every day. And I can say with confidence that I pretty much 99% of the nights I sleep 7 to 9 hours every night, so that's pretty neat. And I try my best to eat healthy, whatever that means. So. Yes, I feel like something that is very common right now is that we want one solution for things, right? During COVID, we wanted people to tell us, what is the one thing that I can do so that I don't get COVID? Or I hear this question a lot, what is the one thing that you would change? And I want to challenge people to think, there's not one thing. It's always a lot of things. It's always, everything that you do is going to have holes. So you're just creating, Amy Acton used to say this, right? Like the cheese that has all the holes, you just have to put on a bunch of these cheese with holes until you have a whole layer of protection. So it's the same thing with wellness. Like, you have to eat well, you have to exercise, you have to sleep well, and you have to take care of your mental health, and you have to take care of your emotional health. And they're all equally as important, and we cannot just do one and think that that's going to fix everything later. But this is the coolest project ever, because we started this project in a group with 5 other female mathematicians, which is not that common. So to have 6 female mathematicians working together on something was really, really cool. So first, it was really, really cool because we could understand each other's lives and things like that. The first time that we met, one of our colleagues was pregnant, so the second time that we met, she was breastfeeding, and we could be working while she was pumping, and things would continue as normal, which would have been impossible if there was a man in the room, right? That would be very uncomfortable. But we could talk about all of these things and at the same time keep working, and it was fine. And several times my colleagues have been having children through this process, so we understand what it is for them to take their break, and we pick up the slack, and then it's really, really nice to work with a bunch of women. So that was first. Second, I started this work in 2013. It was funded by the NSF, and they put us those 6 women together from all around the world, and we started working every week. We would meet online and work. Before it was fashionable to me, Kind of the idea, because I'm a mathematician and they're all mathematicians, was to build mathematical models that would replicate sleep, how your brain behaves through sleep, and then add how the temperature that you sleep at, the ambient temperature, can affect the quality and quantity of your sleep. Which you might be thinking that has nothing to do with sleep. But it does, it has a lot to do with sleep. We tend to think that good sleep can be disrupted by light or sound, but temperature is a lot more disruptive to sleep than those 2 things. Yeah, so I think to me the paper that really got me the most was that the first thing that we lose when we're chronically sleep deprived is our ability to feel that we're tired. I want to repeat that. If you're chronically sleep deprived, so if you're sleeping less than 7 hours a day, every day, the first thing that you're going to lose is your ability to realize that you're tired. And I hear this all the time with students and other professors saying, oh, I'm fine, I know that other people need that, but I sleep 4 hours and I'm fine. And I just want to tell them, you know that I'm as smart as I will ever get because I sleep my 8 hours. But you could be a genius if you just slept your 8 hours. You're so sleep deprived, you don't know that you're sleep deprived. And the reason that we lose that ability is because our body trusts us. That if we're giving it that little sleep, it's because we're at war. Or famine, or something terrible that happened. We're in caveman and we just don't have a place to sleep. So so it says, you know what, I'm gonna sacrifice. I'm gonna not tell him that that I need sleep, because I'm gonna let him finish this war or whatever he's going through, and then he's gonna give me the sleep that I need. And guess what? We don't. So that's we're being super mean to our body, even though they're just, doing the best for us, and we're just like, nah, I'm not gonna pay attention to you. Yeah. So yeah, that was one. So one of the things that happens is, again, you lose that ability to realize that you need sleep. So what that does is that all of the things that you do while you're sleeping, because we all think that we need sleep to rest, which is only part of the story. Actually, what you do while you're sleeping, you have two states. You have REM and you have non-REM. During REM sleep, you do all this variety of things. So if you're somebody that goes to the gym, you only build muscle while you're in REM sleep, or mostly. The majority of the muscle that you build, the synthesizing of proteins, things like that happen while you're in REM. So you went to the gym and you didn't sleep, you just wasted your time at the gym. Also, people that study and say, I'm gonna pull an all-nighter, that's the stupidest thing you can do, because the time of the day that your short-term memories get converted to long-term memories is REM sleep. You don't get REM sleep, you don't get that. Or your body is trying to do it while you're awake, so it does it faultily. It's like trying to change the oil in your car while the car is moving. You need to stop your car, because all of this maintenance needs to happen while you're in REM, right? But also, like, things that you can do starting now. Have a sleeping routine. Like, I know that it's very tempting to just sleep whenever you're tired and be awake whenever you're tired, but you're not a feral cat. Like, come on, you're a human being. Get yourself in a schedule, right? So get yourself in a schedule that is convenient to you. If you have an 8 a.m. class, make sure that you could be up by 7. Like, you don't try to be up by 7:45 and run into class, because you're not gonna be awake. And if you have to be up by 7, make sure that you go to bed before 11. Going to bed at 11 doesn't mean that you're gonna get 8 hours of sleep, right? Now, things that you can do to improve your sleep is this is super hard, and it's so hard for me to, don't have your phone with you, at least for an hour before you go to sleep. Don't have your phone, don't have the TV, don't have light directly to your eyes. Think about the way that we used to sleep before, when we were, the longest time that we've been human beings, we actually lived without electricity, right? So we went to sleep when it was dark. So when it's dark, we start producing melatonin, and melatonin tells the body, you're tired, you gotta go to sleep. But if we have the TV here, or the little phone screen here all the time, your body is like, is it done? Is it dead? I don't know if it should produce melatonin. What do I do with this dude? And then all of a sudden you put it down and you try to sleep, and your body is like, well, I guess it's night, so let me start producing melatonin. But then that takes very, very long time, and you don't produce it as well. So I want to remind you that you lose your ability to realize that you're tired, right? Because most of the people are going to say, yeah, but I'm not tired, I can function well. You really, I remember giving that advice to a mom that had just become a mom, right? And she was like, no, I function well, I'm just sleep 2-3 hours, I'm fine. And I was like, please just try it for a little bit. Sleep 8 hours. And she was like, oh, I'm not gonna get anything done, all the things that I have to do, and she was a new professor, so she has a lot of things to do. And she tried it, and she gave it a try. It's gonna feel really bad the first few days. I warn you, it's gonna feel really bad the first few days, because your body's gonna be like, finally, we're out of this world. I wanna sleep forever. So you're gonna feel really tired the first few days. But once you get used to it, and she reported back and said how she can do activities that used to take her an hour, she can do in 20 minutes now, because she's so much brighter and so much faster. This is what you gain with good sleep. Do you wanna live a real life, or you wanna live a life that you're zombie-like? That's what you wanna try to put in the balance when you try to figure out whether you want to give it this sleep thing a try or not.